Hi, I'm Nate, and you're watching Photolearningism. If this is your first time joining the channel, we do a lot of reviews on Paint.net and Krita. We focus on open source photo editing tools and photography, and ultimately building a community of learning. I invite your comments, your feedback, so we can explore all these concepts together, and I'd love to respond to you, and I'd love you to respond to me, and we can continue to share and grow together, and that's my goal, and that's the purpose of this channel. Today, I wanted to talk about Paint.net 4.16. It's the latest update to Paint.net, and there's a few subtle features which I think are worth highlighting. Let's take a look. Okay, so looking at the new Paint.net, you're probably already noticing it looks different. The buttons have changed a little bit. The styling is a little newer than it used to be. It has kind of a modern-esque-ness to it, which is fine. Nothing has really changed. All the buttons really are what they were. They just have a slight sleekness to them now, and they still perform the same as they did. So for that, okay. It is what it is. One of the nice features I've noticed in playing around with it is that now you have a bit more control in moving layers around. It used to be strictly limited to where you had to use these up and down arrows. Now you can drag them, which I think is pretty awesome. That's just way more intuitive than using these buttons, and when you get into a rhythm, you feel like you should have that ability, and now you do. So, there we go. Another feature that's brand new is the Save All. That was a big selling piece of this, in that if you're working on a lot of different things and you haven't saved anything, you can now do that, where you come to save your work and it does one, and then it does the other one. In this case, I only have two things open. One thing I will note is that if you save the first one as a PDN, it seems to assume that they all belong in the same PDN. So be aware of that. That might be unintentional, I don't know, but it might throw you off if you have multiple projects going and you attempt to do that. So be aware. Other than that, I've done some quick checking through of the effects, the plugins that I've had. Those all seem to be the same. I haven't noticed anything gee-whiz wow beyond that point. So again, nothing was broken. That's always good news, right? There were some other bug fixes they announced, so it's supposed to be more stable, although I have to say I really haven't had a bad experience altogether with Paint.net. It's always been very stable, at least for my uses. So I guess it can only continue to get better as they go on. And ultimately, those are actually the biggest pieces. That may be super helpful. That might be like, wow, those are just the things every program should have. Well, in essence, you're right. And now this one finally has it too. I've spoke a lot about Paint.net. It's a powerful program. It's free, and it's hard to argue with that. And I used it for many, many months before I moved on to Krita, because I did hit some ceiling limitations of which I just couldn't get there in Paint.net, like the limitations in how you work with the layers, and you can't implement changes across multiple layers at once. That's a little bit of a shortcoming. But again, that aside, there's workarounds, and you can still do so much with Paint.net. So definitely check it out if you haven't. I'll put a link in the description below. And hopefully that will get you to a point where you're up and running and working with a photo tool. Again, I do a lot of videos on Paint.net and Krita, among other things, so check out the YouTube channel and subscribe, say hi, let's connect, and let's help each other. Thanks for watching.